Hey everybody, Andy here with Mossy Creek Fly Fishing. Today is Tuesday, August 20th, and I'm here with the fishing forecast for this week. Apologies for being a day late. We had a busy day yesterday, but as we look forward to this week, we've got some big weather changes. So we got some stuff to talk about with what we expect to see from our fishing. So first I want to update y'all on water conditions. So last week we had that tropical system, we had some high water, we had really good flows on a lot of our trout streams, and throughout last week these stream levels have fallen a little bit. And so as we start this week, if we look at our brook trout streams, we're going to see water levels that are ranging from decent to getting back to a little bit low. So that means if you want to get out brook trout fishing, the sooner you can do it, the better you're probably going to be. Unless we get some rain, we're going to see those stream levels start to get low again. But we do have good air temperatures. This morning I woke up and it was in the 50s. We've got nights tomorrow and the next day down into the 40s. So significantly cooler than what we've been seeing. But that's not going to last long. By the end of the week and into next week, we're going to be back to that summertime 90s. So the sooner the better on those brook trout streams. As those streams get low, the fish are going to get spookier. They're going to get pushed back into those big sanctuary pools, and they're going to get more and more difficult to catch. Reports from last week, at the early part of the week were really good. Folks were catching a ton of fish. And then as the water levels dropped and the water got clearer, the fish got spookier, and folks were still catching fish, but definitely got a little bit tougher. So if you're getting out brook trout fishing, plan on those fish being a little bit spookier than they may have been early last week. Maybe size your fly down a little bit. Go to like a high-vis flying ant or stimulators, parachute Adams, things of that nature in like 14, and move slow, keep a low profile. If you do those things, you should still be able to get on some fish. And then the other key is just focus on rivers that are a little bit bigger that hold brook trout. Things that hold a little bit more water are going to fish better for a little bit longer. So keep all those things in mind. Give us a ring if you need recommendations on where to go. We'd be happy to point you in the direction. And if you got reports from any streams, give us a ring and let us know how those are doing as well. Now our spring creeks are full and really at great levels right now. So Beaver Creek, we've had nothing but good reports from. Folks were out there fishing all last week, and pretty continuously we were hearing just good numbers of fish, good size of fish. Folks are catching them on all sorts of different things. Terrestrials, we've still got obviously your big grasshoppers. There's Tricos in the morning. We're definitely seeing some hex now, so late afternoon, evening, right before dark, we'll see those come off, and you may see one or two hanging around in the morning, but for the most part, that hex hatch is going to be a late, close to dark deal. And as that gets better and better, our morning fishing may get a little bit slower. So when these fish have tons and tons of hex to chew on all night, they're not really feeling the urge to come up for that little size 22 trico in the morning. So something to keep in mind there as well. But as of right now, that hex hatch hasn't been massive. So we still see pretty level fishing kind of throughout the day. The hotter days generally by 1, 2 o'clock when that sun gets high, fishing will slow down a little bit. But these next couple of days, as we have temperatures in the 75-degree range, I'd say get out whenever you can and hit the water, and fishing should be pretty good on those trout streams throughout that time. Other trout options, it's still summertime, so we don't have a million places to go, but your tailwater streams, all your spring creeks, all those special regulation areas that are going to hold trout year-round are going to be worthwhile until we start getting into the heat of next week. So pretty much everywhere you go, you're looking at the same kind of report though. Terrestrials on top, drop a nymph down below them, and if all else fails, dredge bottom with a streamer. For streamers, I just pick the size based on water conditions. So when we've got clear water, bright sunny skies, go small, go natural. If we do get some rain, which we're not really expected to get any this week, but if you do get a water system or a stream system that maybe gets a little cell and you get water coming up or off color, size that streamer up and go to your darker colors. Now for our smallmouth stuff, the South Fork of the Shenandoah has come back down and is getting down close to average flow. We're just above it right now. That means it's nice and a little bit easier to get around on the river. We can float instead of having to get out and walk through all those riffles. But you know, if you're wade fishing, it might be a little bit harder to get around compared to what it was when the river was 130 CFS a few weeks ago. So keep that in mind. You know, places that if you were walking there on foot were pretty easily accessible might be a little bit tougher to get to now. There are places you can wade fish, but best fishing right now on the Shenandoah is going to be a float. So if you got a kayak, you got a canoe, you got a raft, or if you want to get out with us, give us a ring. We'd be happy to take y'all out on the river. Our fishing will continue to be good out there through the month of September and sometimes into October. And right now we're seeing really good topwater fishing. If you've been outside much, you've probably heard those dog-days cicadas up in the trees. That's great food for the smallmouth. Those falling down on the water creates really good bug activity for them. And we've had days recently where throwing those cork bugs along the banks produced a lot of good fish. And if we aren't, you know, getting fish to come up, like so let's say this week we've got some cooler mornings that may slow the fish down a little bit, then in that situation I'm going to dredge bottom more so, try my crayfish patterns or hellgrammite patterns or some of these bait fish patterns that you can suspend fish slowly, you know, give them kind of a pop, 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 and then let them sit for a moment, and you'll have fish coming out from underneath the ledges or underneath the structure and grabbing that as it makes its way away from them. So, you know, smallmouth fishing, again, really, it can be good from sunup to sundown, but I would say that there's a chance as we have these cooler mornings, the fish have a bit of an adjustment period, and you may find that your fishing's a little bit better later on in the day. Really, that's about it for our fishing report. As always, you know, keep your eye out for some carp this time of year. And we will be back to update you all again next week, but enjoy the cooler weather this week. Get out and do some fishing. And thank you all for watching.